Think you've seen tough trucks? Think again. Today we're counting down 10 vintage 4x4 pickups, built so tough and powerful they should almost be illegal. From military-grade monsters to unkillable workhorses, these trucks dominated off-road trails long before modern pickups existed. Strap in, this is going to be one wild ride through automotive history. Number 10. Chevrolet K30. The Chevrolet K30 was General Motors' heavy-duty answer to extreme workloads, and it never pretended to be anything less. Built between 1973 and 1987 as part of the square body generation, the K30 represented 1-ton, 4x4 strength in its purest form. This truck came equipped with serious powertrain options, including big block gasoline, V8s like the 454, and durable diesel choices such as the 6.2-liter Detroit diesel. It was engineered to tow massive trailers, carry heavy payloads, and operate under relentless stress without mechanical hesitation. Thick steel construction and a reinforced ladder frame gave it the backbone required for commercial duty use. From ranches to construction zones, the K30 became synonymous with capability. Beneath its squared-off exterior, the K30 featured solid axles and heavy leaf springs designed for maximum load-bearing stability. Many models ran the legendary NP205 gear-driven transfer case, known for its strength and reliability under torque-heavy conditions. Dana 60 front axles in later years added even more durability, making it a favorite among serious off-roaders and heavy haulers. The suspension prioritized strength over comfort, allowing the truck to maintain composure even when fully loaded. Its mechanical simplicity meant fewer fragile components, making it dependable in rough terrain and harsh climates. Owners valued it not for refinement, but for unwavering performance. Over time, the Chevrolet K30 developed a reputation as one of the toughest square-body trucks ever produced. It supported utility companies, emergency services, and agricultural operations, where downtime wasn't an option. Even decades later, restored and modified examples continue to dominate in heavy towing and off-road builds. Compared to many modern trucks that rely heavily on electronics and complex systems, the K30's appeal lies in its raw mechanical integrity. In a countdown of vintage 4x4 pickups built so tough and powerful they almost seem illegal, the Chevrolet K30 closes the list with authority, a true heavyweight, forged in an era when durability came standard. Number 9. UAZ 469. If durability were measured by simplicity alone, the UAZ 469 pickup would rank near the top. Developed in the Soviet Union during the early 1970s, the 469 platform was originally designed for military and state service in some of the harshest climates on Earth. The pickup style variants retained that same rugged DNA, combining a basic steel body with a strong ladder frame and minimal electronic complexity. Powered typically by a 2.4-liter inline-4 gasoline engine, it delivered modest horsepower but dependable low-end torque. This truck wasn't refined or fast. It was engineered to function in remote regions where mechanical failure could mean isolation. In freezing winters and muddy countryside, it kept operating with stubborn consistency. Its drivetrain reflected a focus on resilience rather than comfort. Solid axles, leaf springs, and a dual-range transfer case gave it genuine four-wheel drive capability. High ground clearance allowed it to traverse rutted trails and uneven farmland without constant underbody damage. The mechanical layout was intentionally straightforward, enabling repairs with limited tools and basic mechanical knowledge. That practicality made it invaluable across rural territories where service centers were scarce. Farmers, forestry workers, and utility operators depended on it because it could endure rough terrain and extreme weather without demanding complex maintenance. Although it never achieved mainstream popularity outside Eastern Europe, the UAZ 469 pickup built a quiet legacy of toughness. It carried equipment, transported supplies, and navigated terrain that would overwhelm more delicate vehicles. Its boxy shape and utilitarian interior reflected its mission-first design philosophy. Even decades later, many examples remain operational in remote communities, a testament to their durable construction. In a list of vintage 4x4 pickups that seem almost unfairly resilient, the UAZ 469 pickup represents raw, unfiltered mechanical endurance, built not for luxury, but for survival. Number 8. International Harvester 1210. The International Harvester 1210 wasn't built to impress suburban buyers. It was engineered for people who depended on their trucks every single day. Produced between 1971 and 1973, as part of the D-Series lineup, the 1210 represented serious 3/4-ton capability with unmistakable industrial roots. International Harvester, a company known for agricultural and heavy machinery, applied that same work-first philosophy to this pickup. Engine options included robust V8s like the 304 and 345 cubic inch units, delivering dependable torque for hauling livestock trailers, equipment, and heavy loads. The design was square, functional, and unapologetically practical. It felt less like a lifestyle vehicle and more like a piece of working equipment with license plates. Structurally, the 1210 featured a heavy ladder frame paired with solid axles and leaf springs designed to withstand constant stress. In 4x4 configuration, it often ran Dana axles and durable transfer cases that provided reliable, low-range performance. The suspension prioritized payload and durability over ride softness, making it ideal for rugged environments. Thick steel body panels and a straightforward mechanical layout meant fewer weak points under strain. Owners in farming and construction industries valued its ability to operate in mud, snow, and uneven terrain without losing composure. It wasn't flashy, but it was dependable in the kind of conditions that exposed weaknesses quickly. Though its production run was short, the International Harvester 1210 built a reputation for being over-engineered compared to many competitors of its era. It bridged the gap between light-duty pickups and medium-duty work trucks, offering strength that sometimes exceeded what most private owners truly needed. Even decades later, surviving examples showcase how solidly these trucks were assembled. In a countdown of vintage 4x4 pickups that feel almost too tough for modern comparison, the 1210 stands out as a blue-collar heavyweight, a machine forged from agricultural heritage and built to endure real-world demands without compromise. Number 7. Ford F250 Highboy. The Ford F250. Highboy earned its nickname from one simple detail: it sat noticeably taller than everything else on the road. Produced between 1967 and 1977, this version of the F250 4x4 used a divorce transfer case and specific frame design that gave it a factory-lifted stance long before lift kits became mainstream. Built during Ford's legendary bump side and early dent side eras, the Highboy combined classic styling with serious heavy-duty hardware. Engine options included the durable 360 and 390 FEV8s, delivering strong torque for towing and hauling. This truck wasn't built for comfort or fuel economy. It was engineered to handle demanding labor without hesitation. From ranch land to logging trails, it looked ready for work because it was. Underneath, the Highboy featured solid front and rear axles, leafer, springs, and a rugged ladder frame that could absorb relentless punishment. Many models came equipped with the NP205 transfer case, widely respected for its gear-driven strength and reliability. The elevated ride height improved ground clearance, allowing the truck to navigate rough terrain more effectively than most factory pickups of its time. Heavy-duty Dana axles added durability, while manual locking hubs ensured dependable four-wheel engagement. Owners valued its straightforward mechanical design, which made it serviceable and long-lasting, even under harsh conditions. It felt industrial, raw, and unapologetically tough. Over the years, the Highboy developed a cult following because of its unmistakable stance and bulletproof construction. It hauled trailers across states, supported agricultural operations, and powered through snow and mud without complaint. Even decades later, well-maintained examples remain highly sought after for restorations and serious off-road builds. Unlike many modern trucks that rely heavily on electronics, the Highboy's strength came from mechanical integrity and overbuilt components. In a lineup of vintage 4x4 pickups that seem almost too rugged for today's standards, the Ford F250 Highboy stands tall literally and figuratively as a symbol of old-school American durability. Number 6. Steyr-Puch Pinzgauer 710K. The Steyr-Puch Pinzgauer 710K was never designed for comfort, status, or highway cruising. It was engineered for absolute battlefield-level mobility. Introduced in 1971 by Steyr Daimler Puch in Austria, the 710K was the 4x4 variant of a platform built primarily for military forces around the world. Powered by a rugged 2.5-litre air-cooled inline-4 gasoline engine, it prioritized reliability and low-end torque over outright speed. What made it extraordinary wasn't horsepower, but its drivetrain layout and structural philosophy. This truck was developed to operate in terrain where conventional pickups would immediately fail. From alpine passes to desert operations, the 710K earned a reputation for unstoppable forward progress. Its mechanical design was radically different from traditional pickups. The 710K featured portal axles, which raised the differential housings above the wheel center line for exceptional ground clearance without massive tires. Independent suspension combined with a central backbone tube chassis provided extreme rigidity while allowing serious articulation. Front and rear differential locks, plus a 2-speed transfer case, gave it unmatched traction in low-grip environments. The air-cooled engine eliminated concerns about radiator damage or coolant leaks in remote regions. Military operators valued its ability to climb steep grades, ford water, and traverse unstable surfaces while carrying troops or equipment reliably. Over nearly 3 decades of production, the Pinzgauer 710K proved itself in service with armed forces, rescue organizations, and expedition teams across multiple continents. Its compact width and balanced weight distribution allowed it to maneuver through forests and mountain trails, where larger trucks simply couldn't fit. Even today, it remains a favorite among overlanders who demand serious off-grid capability. In a list of vintage 4x4 pickups that feel almost illegal in their strength and engineering, the Steyr-Puch Pinzgauer 710K stands apart. It wasn't just built tough, it was engineered to survive conditions most vehicles were never meant to see. Number 5. Jeep Gladiator. Long before the modern revival, the original Jeep Gladiator was already a heavyweight in the 4x4 world. Introduced in 1962 as part of Jeep's full-size pickup lineup, it combined the brand's off-road heritage with serious truck capability. Built on a rugged body-on-frame platform, the Gladiator shared much of its DNA with the Wagoneer, but reinforced it for heavier workloads. Engine options range from the dependable Tornado Inline 6 to powerful AMC V8s, giving buyers real muscle for towing and hauling. This wasn't a lightweight trail toy, it was a full-size pickup designed to handle farms, job sites, and wilderness alike. From the start, it carried a presence that felt industrial rather than recreational. Mechanically, the Gladiator delivered authentic four-wheel drive performance. Solid axles, leaf springs, and heavy-duty Dana differentials gave it the strength to endure serious abuse. Many versions came, equipped with proven transfer cases like the Dana 20, offering low-range gearing built for crawling and controlled descents. The long wheelbase improved stability when carrying loads, while the reinforced chassis handled twisting terrain without compromise. In remote areas across the United States and beyond, these trucks earned trust because they could work all week and still tackle off-road routes on the weekend. Its engineering focused on durability first, refinement second, a formula that made it last. Over its long production run through 1988, the Gladiator proved adaptable and resilient. It supported ranch operations, forestry crews, and emergency services in regions where dependable transport was critical. Even decades later, restored examples demonstrate how overbuilt these trucks were compared to many modern pickups. Thick steel construction and straightforward mechanical systems made them serviceable and long-lived. In a lineup of vintage 4x4, pickups that seem almost unfairly tough, the original Jeep Gladiator stands tall, a machine built in an era when strength wasn't optional, it was expected. Number 4. Mitsubishi L200. The first generation Mitsubishi L200 arrived in 1978 with a simple mission: deliver compact size with serious durability. Known in some markets as the Fort, or sold in North America as the Dodge D50, this truck quickly earned respect for blending efficiency with genuine 4x4 capability. Engine options ranged from reliable 2.0-litre and 2.6-litre petrol, inline fours, to tough diesel variants in global markets, focusing more on torque and longevity than outright speed. Its body-on-frame construction gave it the structural backbone needed for hard labor, while its lighter footprint made it more agile than many full-size rivals. This balance allowed it to operate comfortably in tight rural roads, job sites, and off-road trails. It was compact, but it refused to be underestimated. Underneath, the L200 Gen 1 featured a solid rear axle with leaf springs, and, in 4x4 form, a durable front axle paired with a dual range transfer case. The mechanical layout was straightforward and dependable, which made field repairs possible even in remote regions. Owners valued its ability to carry respectable payloads without feeling strained. The suspension wasn't luxurious, yet it was resilient enough to handle rough terrain repeatedly without structural fatigue. In developing markets across Asia, Africa, and Australia, these trucks became known for surviving harsh climates and long workdays. The drivetrain's simplicity meant fewer failure points, a major advantage in areas where service infrastructure was limited. What truly solidified the L200's reputation was its global adaptability. It served farmers, tradesmen, and overland adventurers who needed something rugged but economical. Its lighter chassis often allowed it to traverse soft sand or muddy tracks where heavier trucks would sink. Even decades later, many examples remain operational, a testament to Mitsubishi's engineering discipline during that era. In a list of vintage 4x4 pickups that feel almost too durable for modern standards, the first generation Mitsubishi L200 stands out as the compact warrior proof that toughness doesn't require massive size, only intelligent design and uncompromising build quality. Number 3. Dodge Power Wagon MW300. Before heavy duty became a marketing term, the Dodge Power Wagon MW300 was already living it. Built as a civilian adaptation of Dodge's military truck platforms, the MW300 carried forward the brutal DNA that made the original Power Wagons legendary. Under the hood, many models ran Chrysler's rugged 318 cubic inch V8, delivering strong low-end torque designed for hauling, towing, and climbing without hesitation. This wasn't a refined highway cruiser, it was a purpose-built workhorse, engineered to survive punishment. Thick steel panels, a reinforced ladder frame, and no-nonsense mechanical components made it feel closer to industrial equipment than a typical pickup. In an era when trucks were evolving toward comfort, the MW300 stayed unapologetically tough. Its drivetrain setup reinforced that reputation. A solid front axle, leaf springs at all four corners, and a divorce transfer case gave the truck serious off-road credibility. Locking hubs and a low-range gear reduction allowed it to crawl steadily over obstacles while carrying heavy payloads in the bed. The chassis was built to endure torsional stress from rough terrain without compromising strength. Farmers, construction crews, and utility companies relied on it daily because it could operate in mud, snow, and rocky backcountry without constant repairs. The steering was heavy, the ride was firm, but the trade-off was near indestructible reliability. This was a machine designed to work first and ask questions later. Over its long production life, the MW300 proved itself in environments where failure simply wasn't an option. It towed equipment across ranchland, climbed logging roads in remote forests, and supported infrastructure projects far from paved highways. Unlike many vintage pickups that were limited by lighter-duty components, this Dodge felt built with excess strength as a standard feature. Even decades later, restored examples still demonstrate their durability in off-road events and heavy-duty hauling. In a lineup of vintage 4x4 pickups that seem almost illegal in their toughness, the Dodge Power Wagon MW300 stands tall, a steel-bodied reminder of when brute force engineering ruled the road. Number 2. Mercedes-Benz Unimog 416. If the Hilux was unbreakable, the Unimog 416 was unstoppable. Built as a high-clearance portal axle monster, the 416 wasn't just a pickup. It was a military-grade tool engineered to conquer terrain that would immobilize ordinary 4x4s instantly. Produced from 1965, but most recognized in its 1971 to 1990 production span, the 416 featured a longer wheelbase than the 406, making it more stable while carrying heavy equipment. Power came from robust inline-six diesel engines, like the OM352, delivering massive torque at low RPMs. This truck was never about speed, it was about controlled, unstoppable forward motion. Whether climbing rocky inclines or crawling through deep mud, it moved with mechanical confidence that bordered on unfair. What truly separated the Unimog 416 from traditional pickups was its engineering layout. Portal axles lifted the differentials higher than the wheel centers, dramatically increasing ground clearance without oversized tires. Coil springs at all four corners allowed extreme axle articulation, keeping wheels planted on uneven ground. Add in front and rear differential locks, plus a 2-speed transfer case, and you had a drivetrain capable of clawing through terrain most vehicles wouldn't even attempt. The frame was designed to flex strategically, maintaining traction rather than fighting it. Military forces, forestry departments, and expedition builders worldwide trusted it because it could carry tools, tow heavy loads, and still outcrawl purpose-built off-road rigs. Beyond its hardware, the 416 built its reputation through decades of global service. From European mountain rescue teams to African overland expeditions, it proved itself in punishing real-world conditions. It could operate agricultural, machinery, power hydraulic systems, or haul construction materials, all while traversing ground that looked impassable. Unlike modern trucks packed with sensitive electronics, the Unimog relied on pure mechanical durability. Its combination of torque, clearance, and traction created a vehicle so capable it almost feels excessive. In the world of vintage 4x4 pickups, the Mercedes-Benz Unimog 416 wasn't just tough, it was engineered like it expected the apocalypse. Number 1. Toyota Hilux. When people talk about unbreakable trucks, the 1979 to 1997 Toyota Hilux always dominates the conversation. This generation, spanning the late 2nd gen through the 5th gen models, built a global reputation for mechanical durability that bordered on mythical. Powered by engines like the 2.4-liter 22R and later the fuel-injected 22RE inline-4, Along with bulletproof diesel options in many markets, the Hilux wasn't about flashy horsepower numbers. It was about relentless reliability. Body-on-frame construction, solid rear axles, and simple manual transfer cases made it a tool, not a toy. Around farms, deserts, mountains, and war zones, it kept moving long after others gave up. That's exactly why this truck feels almost too tough for its own good. Underneath, the Hilux was engineered with a kind of brutal honesty that modern pickups rarely replicate. A ladder frame chassis absorbed punishment without twisting apart, while leaf-sprung rear suspension prioritized load capacity over comfort. In 4x4 configuration, it featured a dual-range transfer case and locking hubs that allowed true mechanical engagement. There were no complicated electronics to fail in water crossings or deep mud. Owners routinely pushed these trucks beyond 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. Even in extreme climates, from Australian outback heat to Arctic cold, the Hilux proved stubbornly dependable. It earned a reputation as a machine you could abuse daily and still trust with your life. Its legend was cemented in global pop culture when Top Gear famously tried and failed to destroy one. After being submerged, crashed into structures, and even placed atop a demolished building, the Hilux still started and drove away with minimal repairs. That moment didn't create its reputation. It confirmed what millions already knew. Across continents, humanitarian groups, construction crews, and remote explorers chose it for one reason: it simply refused to quit. In a world of increasingly complex trucks, the 1979 to 1997 Hilux stands as proof that true toughness comes from simplicity, strength, and mechanical integrity. If any vintage 4x4 pickup feels like it should be illegal because of how unstoppable it is, this is the one. Those were the 10 most unstoppable, vintage 4x4 pickups ever built. Which one would you take off-road first? Comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic truck legends and off-road history. Stay tuned for the next countdown, you won't want to miss it.